I'm a Lego inventor, and I've always wished I had lightning-fast reflexes. Unfortunately, I'm not the Flash. You see, last year I got shot in the eye from a foam dart shot from a toy blaster. It was actually an accident. I was just walking into the room where like everyone gets geared up, and I was thinking, I don't know if I should play this or not. I really don't want to get shot in the eye. So anyway, I spent the next 2 minutes crying on the floor, but it got me thinking, was there a possibility that I could have reacted fast enough to block the bullet or even move out of the way? So the plan is to build a Lego helmet with an automatic protection system that can hopefully react faster than I can. The way we're gonna do this is using an EV3 and these Lego sound sensors that should allow us to put in an adjustable decibel range so that we can sense when something dangerous is about to happen. So it'll pretty much be like Spider-Man's Spider-Sense, and it'll sense things. For example, the sound a toy blaster makes when it fires, or when something explodes on my table when I'm working, which happens like way more often than you'd think. So the first thing I need to do is build a Lego helmet to mount this thing to. All right, we're gonna start with layer plates. We'll put a big one at the middle and right here, and then we just gotta connect all these with these joints. Perfect, so now we have a bendy thing that we can just match to our head like this, and now we have part of a helmet shape. So now we just need to take this, flatten it out again, and then we add 2 of these on each side. Now we need a bunch of 2x4 plates. We're just gonna put them here and here. Then we're gonna take 2 more of these hinges, put them on the edges, and put 2 more like that. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, how do you take this flat thing and make it into a helmet? I'm about to show you. We're gonna use these. Then we'll go to the edge of this like this. I'm gonna put this right here. Then we can bend it, and now you can see we have a bent shape. Now we just gotta do this all the way around with the same pieces and lock everything together with a layer of plates. This is a technique that Nick Brick came up with, and I kind of riffed off of it till I got something that looked like what I wanted it to, but he is the original creator of the helmet mixel joint technique. And now we have our helmet template. So now we can put this on, and anything we want to attach to our head, like our eye protection system, we can attach to this. So we can add the designs on top of this later, but we just need the base to work with. So the next thing we need to do is figure out how to code the sensor so that it activates a motor. So when there's a loud pop noise or something, it'll activate the motor that will flip down and bring the visor like this. So we need to figure that out. All right, so we're recording this at 30 frames per second. So the moment my finger comes in contact with this, it'll make a sound like, and then we'll count how many frames it takes for this to go 45 degrees and cover your face, and we'll call it. So at 30 frames per second, it took around 3 frames from the sound of my finger tapping the sensor to the motor turning 90 degrees. And since we know that there's 30 frames in a second when you're shooting at 30 frames per second, and in real time there's 1,000 milliseconds in a second, we can do the math that 3 frames is 10% of 30. And then we can take that same percentage to 1,000 milliseconds and get around 100 milliseconds. And then if I measure how fast I can close my eyes, or my reaction time, we can see that the robot is faster by at least 50 milliseconds. Those numbers might be a little bit off because I'm not fantastic at math and didn't go down to the decimal, but I'm really, really confident that it's faster than a human. Or just me, because I'm clearly slower than a bullet. Ugh. Conclusive evidence. All right, so now that I've proved that this can actually react faster than a human, we need to build a mechanism that will go right here. We'll have 3 motors, 2 on the sides, and they will flip down onto your face. We also have to mount this somewhere on this. That doesn't look like super awkward, so we'll figure that out. Okay, we need to have a couple sticks that come out like this. This is gonna look super stupid, but I think it's gonna be more efficient because we're gonna have multi-directional sensing. We need to bulk this up a little bit. Damn, how do we connect that? I have no idea. Like that, somehow. I'm thinking if we just use these, connect this. And now this thing sticks right here. This is gonna look so stupid, but it's probably gonna work really well, so I'm okay with it. Let's add the others. So if this goes on my head, this thing will need to go right here. I imagine this looking so much cooler. That'll mount in the center like that. Now that that looks incredibly stupid, we can add everything to the back, which we connect to this. Now we gotta mount the motors on here. We're gonna mount one motor right here. That'll bring down the main face protection. And then we're gonna mount one here and the other one right here. I just wanna say, this is not the most efficient way to find out if a projectile's coming. I could've used cameras.
That's pretty much it. I could've used cameras.
But I didn't because Lego doesn't make Mindstorm's cameras. And the only one they do make is like a piece of trash. So we're using sound. We use 2 of those. This thing should be able to Mount right there. And now we have our first motor. That's good. Okay, and then we can just put the other one. Okay, how awkward is this? It's awesome.
I feel super secure right now. I feel like my face is already super safe.
Lies. Now we just gotta plug these in. Okay, now we have 3 motors, 3 sensors, and hopefully a working thing. What program is this? I had it working, I did. All right, guys, so I've literally been trying to fix the code for over an hour, and I finally got it to work by adding some if-then things into there. Check this out. I'm gonna put it on. Looks kind of dumb, but it's gonna look a lot cooler with the clear eye protection that folds down. Yo, okay, so that's the front. Okay, so now that we got the electronics all working and tested, we need to build the goggles that are actually going to flip down. We're gonna have 3 different sections, one on the right side, which will flip in like this, one on the left side, flip in like this, and then the one in the middle, which will flip down like this. So, how does that fit? I don't know, I guess we'll see. Now, we need to attach this to this. The thing is, I also don't want this to, you know, go like this and break off and hit me in the eye anyway, because then this thing is completely useless. We're just prototyping, guys. We're just trying to make it kind of work at the moment, but I think this will. It's this one. The issue is this is too heavy, and in the programming, I made sure, oh, shoot. Okay, so I'm gonna have to remove that one from the programming. Because in the programming, I made it so that if this one isn't reset to 0 degrees, none of them will work. Because I was having an issue where they would just keep going over and over again. Maybe it's that this thing's touching it. Ow. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is how the program works. The first thing it does is reset the counters on all 3 motors. That means they'll all be at 0 degrees. The next thing it does is chooses between 3 different sequences. The first sequence asks if this mic has a loud noise greater than 20 decibels or 20%. If it does, it will make sure all 3 of these motors are set to 0 to keep it from, you know, smacking me in the face. Except for A, this one right here, which needs to be at least less than 8 degrees because it'll never reset to 0 because this little visor thing is so heavy. And then it basically just does the motor movements and waits a second and does the opposite so that they open back up. These other 2 work pretty much the same. Basically, if this side is louder than this side, these 2 will flop down.
Where if this one's louder, these 2 will flop down.
I really hope this works. Okay, now the final stretch to make this thing look actually cool, and then we can finally test it and see if it's possible that I could have stopped a bullet shot from a toy blaster. So. Guys, we've just completed it. I'm super excited to test this, but I'm also a little scared because I don't really trust my inventing skills very much. I guess it's time to test. All right, here we go. Do not do this. Always wear eye protection if you're using toy blasters. Seriously, it can be painful. And I'm not stupid enough to put all my faith in this Lego invention that I made in like 4 hours. Guys, welcome to the stage, Brian. He's here because I'm too scared to wear this. That's pretty much it. We're gonna test this thing. Let's turn it on and put these into their open position. And we're gonna see if from like 20 feet away, we can stop or protect against a toy blaster bullet. So, I guess we're ready. I'm gonna go all the way over here. As you can see, we are pretty far away in the studio. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I completely missed, but here we go. I'm gonna aim better this time. 3, 2, 1. No way! No freaking way! No way! You're kidding me! I think that actually worked. Wait, we have to replay that footage because that was, if that worked, that's insane. It actually hit the visor. Dude, that is insane. You can see it. You can see it. That's captured right there. That's it bouncing off. Bam. Bounced right off the visor. Dude, that is insane. I am literally like so impressed right now. I had no idea if this thing would actually work. I literally can't believe this worked. I'm gonna shoot a slow-mo shot with sound just so you guys can actually see. It's working, it has some issues, obviously it has some flaws. I'm gonna actually test it on my head using some poppets on the table in front of me to see if a loud sound will actually protect my face from anything. But yeah, it just needs a couple little bug fixes, you know. Hey! It worked. Wow. Hey guys, it worked. That's scary. It's working really well.
I feel so safe in this thing.
It needs to be better tuned because when I'm talking, it thinks I'm really loud, so I have to turn the decibel range up. Ah! I'm okay. This also has a really cool function that's still a work in progress, just like the whole thing. If I snap on this side, these two come down. But if I snap on this side, guys, this thing is super sick. It obviously has some issues, but I think it works well enough to get the point across. It kind of makes you wonder though, was it actually worth it? If I just put on something like these glasses, I have constant eye protection. However, I think in the scenario of me getting shot in the eye with the toy blaster, this thing would have been really, really handy. This thing has like a 70% success rate right now-ish, and there were several times where it actually didn't activate because of an issue with this. So it obviously needs some work, but the concept's there, and that's what's super cool about this. Guys, huge thanks for watching this video. Check out this one right here, where I built Lego gadgets for the Nintendo Wii. That was super awesome. Also check out this video where I built a 3D Lego table invention. It can make satisfying waves and actually display 3D structures. Subscribe.